Okay.
Good. We're just waiting to see. Yeah, we good. All right, Shalom. We want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Maka, Kodah.
Kodash.
All right, double honors to our apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and honors to all you fellow laborers that are kicking this word sincerely. All right, enduring afflictions, especially in this holiday season, to bring out this word with sincerity and faith. Hashem, to all you sincere listeners. All right, so I got as you can see, I got the brother Warga Boy with me and the elder Kwana Awaf. Yeah, so the elder wanted to go into a lesson. So you got it, brother. You got it, elder.
God. Yeah, so what you see on the screen is a little you be watching, random videos on YouTube. This is a little compilation of quote unquote social justice warriors, being confounded. But the clip we're gonna play is basically, Esau boasting, and as you can see from the title, we're gonna go into Esau's system because Esau believes that his system is the best system ever created. This is the model of how every nation and civilization should model their nation after, man, which is completely the opposite of that. Okay, Esau's system is the most wicked system ever set up. Okay, it's unsustainable. Okay, and it's the worst system ever created, man. But in his mind, he believes that this is the best thing going. Okay, completely ignoring all the destruction that his system has caused throughout the four corners of the earth, man. Okay, so Baba Kasha, Elder, if you could play the clip.
Narrative is your sticker. The dominant narrative in America is white people are evil, white people suck, we should be ashamed of ourselves.
That's true.
And
I don't think we should be ashamed of ourselves. I think that we should take responsibility for the system that we've created.
The best system in the world?
Oh, we do not have the best system in the world.
Who has a better system?
There are many European countries that are much better off
than
us.
You mean like the European countries with a higher density of whites, like Northern Europe?
That's one way to phrase it, I guess.
You don't mean Turkey.
No.
You don't mean Eastern Europe with the communists. So the only time you can come up with a system that's better than America, it's a country that's more white than America. I don't understand.
I don't know what to say to that. So,
like, I just want to know where the data is that supports this universe of white supremacy. Is it because whites are doing well?
That makes it sound like whites are doing well because they earned it and they did all the right things rather than we've built this country on a system for hundreds of years that allows whites to do well. We have generations that have supported our success, and we have taken away support from communities of color. So that is why communities of color are not doing well in America. It's not because white people are doing so well for themselves. We're just such a great people. I mean, I'm not.
So the reason whites are doing well is because we cheated.
Yeah.
But if you look at the data of Asians, for example, you will find way more Asian privilege than there is white privilege. Asians make way more money than whites. They're way more educated than whites. They are less likely to experience any kind of crime than whites are. They're less likely to die at work than whites are. I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah, they suffer from a different sort of racial stereotyping.
Well, they don't suffer. They're kicking our ass. Everything you can say about white privilege is more true with Asian privilege. No one grabs their purse when it.
Them.
Pardon?
It still pigeonholes them.
Pigeonholes them as successful? I don't think anyone minds being pigeonholed like that. Hey, Mr.
You stop it, Elder.
Drive a nice car.
It's not.
Yeah, that's pretty much the point. And the main point that we're dealing with, is him saying that who has created a better system on the earth. This so-called white man, okay, these Edomites, they literally believe that in their heart, man. They actually believe that they've established the best system throughout history, man. Okay, when when you go into how his system works, his system destroys the earth, man.
Yep.
Okay. And on top of that, it oppresses so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. Which is probably a point that Edomite bitch was trying to make. But even her, she a so-called social justice warrior, so-called crusader for Jake, but she's saying that these other European nations have a better system than America does. Okay, right. So all these Edomites, they feel the same way, man. They feel that the system that they have created is the best system on earth. Okay, and whoever doesn't set up a system that's modeled after their society, they're wrong. Okay, this is the best that you're gonna get, and the closest that you're gonna get to paradise on the earth, man. Do you have you want to bring a scripture out?
Yeah, I got something, brother. It's Revelation 11 and 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou should reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth.
Yeah, should have destroyed them, which destroyed the earth, man. Which that's one thing that Edomite conveniently left out, man. Okay. Yeah, you have a system that's prospering. Okay, you have a system where you can gain wealth. If you do the certain the correct shady acts. But what is the result of your system? Okay, this system that the so-called white man has established completely destroys everything around it, man. Okay, his system is basically it's like him, man. He's a cancer. Okay, and everywhere he goes, he destroys everything. Okay, and this system that he set up, it does that same exact thing, man. It destroys everything, which is the reason why you got all this pollution throughout the four corners of the earth. Okay, because these nations, they have modeled their society just like the so-called white man. They're doing the same thing that he's doing. Okay, if somebody wants something, let's say certain fish, they do commercial fishing, man. Where they take probably like the whole pot of fish, and then they ship it throughout the four corners of the earth, man, instead of being sustainable. Okay, which that's more proof that the so-called white man system is completely corrupt. Okay, and it's not the best system, because what is he trying to do now? He's trying to find sustainability. Now he's coming out with, we need sustainable energy, we need sustainable food, we need sustainable clothing.
Yeah, now he's trying to supposedly fix a problem which he created in the first place, and all he does is just make it worse.
Done.
And I got Revelation the 13th chapter, because it pretty much goes into how Esau has made the whole earth worship his image. Which the image is. If I can go, this is Revelation 13 and 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy.
And that's talking about NATO and the EU.
Right.
Okay. And the beast is basically the Roman Empire coming back into power.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Go on.
It goes into it. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and the feet as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion.
Yep.
And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority.
God.
Right, which the dragon, that's talking about this man's system. Okay. Verse 3, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wandered after the beast.
God. And his deadly wound is talking about when the Roman Empire went down.
Right.
Okay. But they came back into power during the Renaissance period.
Right.
Okay. And that's when the so-called white man brought back that Roman system. Okay. That democracy, that so-called republic. Okay. You voting and saying that if you the majority rules, for lack of better words.
Exactly. Okay. Which that's stupid. Why would you have all these people in a country and like 48% of them believe one thing and 52 believe another? That's just going to lead to tension and confusion. And that's exactly what you have in America now. And that's what you had in the ancient Roman Empire. you had two major political systems, just like you have two major or political parties, I should say, just like you got two major political parties now, man. One was supposed to be common people, the other was supposed to be for the elites, the upper class. It's the same thing, man. And like the elder said, the Renaissance means what? Rebirth. So it was the rebirth. This is the rebirth of the Roman Empire. Yet, just like the ancient Roman Empire went down, this leg of the Roman Empire is going to go down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The brother got a precept.
Right. Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. Right. It says, Edom said, "We are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said the Lord of hosts. Says, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua had indignation forever."
God. And Esau, he's the one that set up this current system that we have, all right, which is modeled after the Roman Empire, all right? So the Most High is making a declaration to the so-called white man, to the Edomites. He said, they shall build, but he's going to throw down, okay? Then it says, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, meaning what? Everywhere the so-called white man goes and establishes a land, he establishes that land upon wickedness, okay? Which, when you establish a city and a land upon wickedness, all right, you don't just get injustice. You get what we have in this current society, man. Okay, everything's just completely out of order. All right, you have the wildlife, they're dying. Okay, what the so-called white man will do, he'll go to a certain region, and then a certain prey animal, which keeps the rest of the animals in check, he'll kill that thing off, man.
Right.
Okay, now the whole ecosystem is completely thrown off. You know?
Yeah. Well, he's destroying the ecosystem of a man and a woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's an ecosystem right there. Okay, you as a man, all right, you're supposed to plant your seed within a woman, and then do what? Bring forth more fruit. All right, your seed actually keeps a woman in check. That's why when you go into the law, it says when you first get married, you're not supposed to go to war for a year because you're supposed to do what? You're supposed to cheer up your wife.
Yep.
All right, you putting your spirit on her, your seed on her, man. That cheers her up. All right, so now because the so-called white man, he promotes homosexuality, lesbianism. You have a bunch of out of order men, a bunch of out of order women, and a bunch of out of order children. Mm-hmm. Why? Because he's effectively destroyed that ecosystem. And it started with our people, and now it's spread to society as a whole, man. Why? Because the curses are coming upon Esau now, man, and these other nations. You see? And the way that it physically manifested was through Esau doing wickedness. All right, because things were set up in the spirit first and foremost, and then the Lord set up Esau, all right, pertaining to Job 9th chapter, 24th verse, all right, to be in control of this realm, of this era. Okay, and what has he done? He's brought forth nothing but wickedness. You see? Which is why Heavenly Father said, you're gonna build, but he's gonna throw down, man. All right, because if the called white man kept building, his building is actually destruction, man. Because whenever he sets forth to build something, it never prospers, and really it's worse off than when he got there. Mm-hmm. Every time, man. Hey, the brother got a precept.
God, if I can just make this point real quick. Well, let's take America, for example.
Right.
When the so-called white man came over here, this land was flourishing with wildlife, man. Well, the so-called white man, he actually compared this to the Garden of Eden. Okay. And this land, the natives called it New Canaan. Right. All right. So it was just like the promised land, the land of Israel, when we first came out of Egypt, man. That's how plenteous this land was. Okay. So from 16 to 1600s up until now, all right, which is about 400 years, give or take, this nigga completely destroyed this place, man. All right. They were saying the fish out there on the East Coast, the river used to be filled with fish, man. Okay. What did the so-called white man do? He started his commercial fishing, man. He was fishing all the fish out of the river and then shipping it back to Europe, man, which completely depleted the fish wildlife in the rivers, man. Completely destroyed the rivers. That's the system that the so-called white man has established, man. Okay, just take until no more is left, man. Now, how is that sustainable? How can you live off of that, man?
I
If
got
there's
some.
no more food, you ain't gonna have nothing to eat. You're gonna die. Okay, and this is the same system that he has established throughout the four corners of the earth. So how in the hell is the so-called white man? How is his system the best system on the earth? You know,
Yep. I got something real quick.
God.
It's the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 2. A day of darkness and of gloominess. Actually, I'm sorry, verse 3. A fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burning. The land as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them.
God, that's talking about when the missiles hit America, man.
Right.
All right. And even you can go to certain parts of this country and you can still see that pristine,
Right.
but it's not even on the same level as it was before the so-called white man came over here, man.
Right.
All right. He didn't chop down, the majority of the trees. A lot of the certain animals that was there, they're extinct, man.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is the only man that has done this on the earth. Okay. He's made multiple species go extinct. Okay, why? Because in his mind, they don't serve a purpose. These different prey animals, the grizzly bear, the wolf, the cougar that's over here in this country. He completely tried to exterminate them because he didn't see a purpose for them, man. All right, but that helps keep the ecosystem in balance. Okay, with the so-called white man, he's in balance.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, like when you go up to Washington and Oregon and Idaho, they call that God's country because that's still a remnant of the Idan condition that this land was in when Gad had care of it. All right, got that? You got something?
It's Habakkuk chapter 2, and we'll start at 4. It says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith."
God, and the soul is talking about the so-called white man's soul. All right, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. He's the wicked man. Okay, and for you to prosper on this earth, okay, you have to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. All right, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it, man. Okay, this so-called white man, he has established the worst system ever because he completely goes astray from everything Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah established, man. Okay, for you to live sustainably down here on the earth, you have to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments, man. Even the other nations, they were able to live, somewhat sustainable with the earth, man. You didn't have what's going on now, going on when the other nations was in power, man. Okay, the Babylonians, they wasn't going around destroying the earth, all right, polluting the water, polluting the air, okay, killing and making multiple species go extinct, man. Okay, that's the system the so-called white man established. Why? Because he's the wicked.
Right.
All right, he was literally set up to destroy the creation of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, man. But in his mind, he believes that this is the proper way you're supposed to live. You're just supposed to destroy everything you see. If it don't fit how you want it to fit, then you destroy it. That's the so-called white man. That's literally his system, man.
Right.
Okay. He doesn't like the institution of marriage, so what does he do? He destroyed that. Okay, he allows these women to be promiscuous, and now what you got the STDs at an all-time high, man. Okay, so how in the hell is this the how in the hell is the so-called white man system the best system when everybody's through out here, man? The animals are through, the ecosystem is through, the people are through,
Verse 5 says, "Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home."
And you just seen some of that wine, Salakia. You just seen some of that wine, man. He said, who else has created a better system? The so-called Native Americans, they had a way better system than you so-called white people, man. Okay, they didn't have any of the problems that you so-called white people have in your modern day society, man. Shortage of food, a shortage of clean water. Okay.
Yeah, and Elder, what he didn't mention is whenever a country wants to establish a system, they destroy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why they overthrow. And American government has overthrown tens, hundreds of governments, man. Democratically elected governments. Why? Because they're trying to create a system. aside from America's system. But they wouldn't allow it. They assassinate the leader. All right, they'll drop bombs on the people. So they'll talk about how messed up Haiti is, or Africa, or look at third world. It's in that condition because when people try to establish a system outside of this wicked ass system, they're put down with violence.
Yep.
And pretty much they turn into just a vassal state of America. They turn into pretty much a glorified colony of America.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have any. So they don't have any power to establish their own system, man.
Good.
That's what Esau does. And then what Esau does, he makes everywhere else hell, complete hell. And then say, well, look, man, well, you're privileged to live in America. Well, look, man, you could be over there. Fucking damn devil, man. So like, try not to so-called curse, man. This man's out of
the spirit.
Yeah, this man's out of control.
This devil pisses you off, man.
Yeah, he should piss you off. Well, the scriptures say that the Lord is dealing with the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. If you're cool with your woman being a whore, your mom being a damn drug addict, all right, your brother, your cousins being sodomites, murderers, drug dealers. If you're cool with that, man, the Lord ain't dealing with you. The Lord gonna kill you, man.
Done.
If you're complacent with this society, with the way that this thing is set up. I mean, brothers, we're optimistic and we're upbeat. Yet we're vexed. I mean, because we know what the end of this thing is. Yet we're still constantly in a vexed spirit, man. Yet we have the comforter. You see, well, ultimately, man, you're supposed to be upset, highly upset about the way your whole experience in America has been. All right, I was reading up about that devil, Kit Carson, complete devil, man. And you got a lot of these cities. John Fremont, a lot of these cities and states, okay, are named after these guys, man. And that's a part of Esau's system. That's what Esau didn't mention. How did he establish his system? All right, he had to take out us first, man. He had to take out the Israelites. But guess what? The Israelites are coming back up, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got your woman, or we got your little kids wanting to be like us. Okay. And now all we need is the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai to fully engulf the elect. Get that spiritual power. We're gonna rule forever. But you got it, brother.
Yep. Habakkuk 2:5, it says, yea, also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home.
Yeah, that wine. Yeah, that wine is Salaki, brother. But that wine, like the elder was going into, is talking about his doctrine. He's pertaining to Jeremiah, the 51st chapter. He's made the whole earth drunken with that wine, man. Good. The book of Revelation that talks about that. And you see, that's why these nations are mad. That's why everybody is bugged out, and now they're coming against this place. See? Hey, because this whole week has pretty much been commemorating manifest destiny. But what's the flip side of manifest destiny? The sixth verse. Yep. That's a flip side of manifest destiny. That's also the manifest destiny. But go ahead, brother.
Says, who enlargeth his desire as hell.
Yeah, he enlargeth his desire as hell. All right, because when a so-called white man wants something, he stops at nothing to get it. All right, say you don't want to pay taxes. He'll find you in the fucking Amazon, man. He'll still find you in the Himalayan mountains. Okay, he's bringing hell, man. Oh, like Izzy said, we're bringing hell. Inside joke, the guy used to be in the camp. He had the song, "You Bringing Hell." Well, that's the so-called white man. He brings hell wherever. Right. All right,
he's the harbinger of death.
He is the harbinger of death. That's right, and that's spiritual because what did they do? They broke out the scrolls on his ass, man, and that's what we're doing. We're bringing out the scrolls on your ass. We're not marching in line with guns, or we got a speaker. Oh, no justice, no peace. All we're doing is breaking out the scrolls on your ass, man, and it's condemning you. Just like Charles Heston, when you saw him, he was cut. He was cut to the heart. But guess what? He didn't have the power because now or before, you would say something, and Esau get cut to the heart, he'll just go and kill you. But guess what? The Lord got it that Esau's bounded, man. He can't come and kill us. All right, we cut you with these scriptures and nothing you can do about it, man. But take it. Get ready for slavery. Go ahead, brother.
Who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death. It cannot be satisfied.
It cannot be satisfied. Meaning he's what? He's insatiable. And really, he can't be satisfied until every last Israelite is dead. Just like Haman. See, Haman is a perfect example of the mindset of a so-called white man, of an Edomite. in particular a so-called Jew. You see, because really when you go into it, he was a so-called Jew. He was an Agagite, which was a king of Amalek. You go back to the book of 1 Samuel. And guess what? Our great forefather, the prophet Samuel, hewed his ass in pieces. But see, going back to Haman, he had everything, but he couldn't rest because Mordecai didn't submit to his ass. And that's why Esau's so pissed off. I remember I had to do this job, go to people's doors, solicit people. This was right after Katrina. And Esau was mad that I came to his door. He was like, look, tell your people down there to stop looting. Motherfucker like flipped some money at me, gave me $1. He's really upset at our presence, man. He really hates our spirit.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it really comes down to. He hates the spirit of life. Why? Because he's deaf. All right, death and life don't agree with each other, just like light and darkness don't agree with each other. I'll tell you that in the book of Sirach, 13th chapter. So that's why he's not satisfied, because there's Israelites out here, man, who have the light, who got a spirit. That's why you saw shoot at you just because you slapping some music, man. All right, just because Jake walk in the store, just because Jake in the neighborhood, man.
That's up for directions, man. He'll shoot at
walk on your ass, yeah. He got buckshots coming for your ass. And that's ultimately why Esau's not satisfied, because as long as Israel's here, he can't destroy everything, because we're about life, man. You walk into brother's house, it's a lively spirit. You get around brother, it's a lively spirit. Okay, he wants everybody to be destitute, man, and through. Just like these dudes out here. All right, brother's up at my house, man, and he sees the neighborhood is cool. You get outside the neighborhood, there's a bunch of destitute Edomites, and that's how Esau wants the world, man. He wants everybody to just be destitute through and submit to his ass, and then take that RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, to resuscitate them. Right? Because he wants to be the Most High, man. He wants to be able to control the spirit. Go ahead, brother.
I got a precept.
Okay, go ahead.
Real quick, Wisdom of Solomon 2, and I'm gonna start at 10.
Yep, go ahead.
It says, "Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the aged."
Right, which really, when you go into it, this is talking about the wicked coming against Yahweh Shai, yet this also applies to Esau, man. All right, because Esau rose in the same spirit. Well, really, the 2/3 back then, they were walking after the spirit of Esau. That's why when you go to St. 8th chapter, the 44th verse, it says, "You are of your father, the devil." Right? Because they were under the Roman Empire, where they were following the ways of the so-called white man back then. That's why they said, we have no king but Caesar. Okay? So this applies to Esau as well. Can you read that again, brother?
Verse 10, it says, "Let us oppress the poor righteous man."
That's what Esau.
Let us not spare.
He's all about oppressing the poor righteous man. And he got that spirit on the world. That's why brothers catch so much hell when we go out there. All right, the poor righteous man isn't revered. Why? Because Esau has made the God of this world Mammon. Okay, that's the God that's worshipped here. All right, the Queen of Heaven, all these things which are contrary to the spirit of Yahweh Shai. Go ahead, bro.
It says, "Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the aged."
Right, the elders, apostles. Really, if Esau was a righteous man, he would be every 30 minutes. It would be a prophet. It would show about the prophets. All right, they would play the elders live stream, man. They're not about to do that. Go ahead.
"Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth."
And that's what Esau's always talking about, justice. The whole time, man, this dude's molesting children. All right, the judge, the whole time, he got a penis pump. He's actually handing out judgment. He's using the penis pump, man. He's making prisoners dance and strip for him in exchange for getting out early. But he puts his strength in the law of justice, his own penal code, man. Not the laws of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, his justice is wickedness, man. Okay, because you're supposed to pass judgment out without being biased. The scriptures tell you not to have respect to persons, but Esau's whole judicial system is set up on respecting persons, man. Or if you got the bag, you can get off. If you pay the judge off, you pay the DA off, you can get off, man. So justice is never going forth, man. Well, like the law they trying to pass out here, or well, they passed the law already, but they trying to get another law passed absolving the utility company out here if they start fires, man, through they power lines being down, them not keeping the trees trimmed around their power lines, man.
Right.
That's not justice. If you cause damage to somebody's house, you're supposed to pay for it, man. You're supposed to get off. You're a company that makes multi-million dollars, but that's part of Esau's system.
Yep.
Yep. Verse 12, it says, therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is now for our turn.
Yeah, and that's what the society is about. Well, the scriptures tell you, I think it's Isaiah the 59th chapter, that he that turneth from wickedness, he maketh himself a prey. Yeah, because everybody's against the righteous in this society. Why? Because you're programmed to be wicked in this society. That's why this truth, you have to unlearn so much. All right, and because you're taught to be against the righteous. That's why people will tell you the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not. Yeah, because Esau conditions people to come against righteousness, man. To lie and wait for the righteous. Yeah, you're always trying to accuse the righteous. Always trying to find fault. All right, we go. Look at the Avengers, man. They're rolling in the spirit of Esau. Because what are they trying to do? Just lay in wait for the righteous. Okay, yeah, y'all doctrine is right, but what are you doing? Oh, look, you got business. You smiling. You see?
Yeah.
And why do they do that? Can you keep reading, Elder?
It says, therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn.
Because he is not for our turn. Yeah, because we don't agree with wickedness. Go ahead.
And he is clean contrary to our doings.
Right, and we're clean contrary to your doings. That's really why Esau hates us, because we're clean. Just like Cain. Cain hated Abel. Why? Because Abel's works were more righteous than his. You see?
Yep.
And Esau's forefather is Cain. All right, Esau is Cain in the reincarnation. All these Edomites, they got the spirit of Cain on them. All right, they want to kill their brother for no reason.
Yep.
Go ahead.
He upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objecteth to our infamy the transgressings of our education.
Right, upbraiding means to reproach severely, right? Which you offending the law, yeah. Because we get on Esau the 2/3 because they don't follow the law, statutes, commandments, and in Esau, it's in the power of his hand to do so. See, us, we can't follow the full law, statutes, commandments. We want to, yeah, we can't just being in a society. And Esau got the society set up so then he can go and accuse us before the face of the Heavenly Father, man. So then we'll be done away with. That's how sick this man is. Go ahead.
He professeth to have the knowledge of the Most High, and he calleth himself the child of the Lord.
Go ahead.
He was made to reprove our thoughts.
Right, and this is talking about really Yahweh Shai and us as well, man, because we walk in that spirit. All right, we profess to have the knowledge of the Most High. We call ourselves children of the Lord, which we are. And we were made to reprove the thoughts of these devils, man. Everybody that ain't right. That's why it says in 2 Corinthians, the 5th chapter, I trust that we are also made manifest in your consciousness. You see? And because once you hear this word, man, we be stuck in people's minds. People actually say that. Oh, they had dreams about us. Oh, I just had to come back and, say something to y'all. All right? Because once you hear this truth, man, your life has changed. Either you get with it or you're condemned forever, man. Which forever means for a long time. All right? All right, for a moment. Go ahead.
He is grievous unto us even to behold, for his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion.
Right, yeah. So we're grievous for them to even look. And you can see that, man. Esau, he don't even like looking at us, man. Esau, the 2/3, they look at us with hate and disdain, man. Why? Because we're clean, and we're contrary to him. That's what it really boils down to. And this society will have you, feeling some type of way about it or feel insecure, right? Because everybody's against you. That's why the scriptures talk about loving not the world, man. You can't give a shit about this world, man, and the people in it. All right? Because the Lord has separated you from the world, man. So you're going to experience that, man. Are you you're gonna experience people just looking at you nasty, and it's because your ways are not like these people's ways, man. We have a totally different lifestyle. You go into our house, and you go into these people's houses, it's a totally different spirit, man. Okay, you have a conversation with a brother, and you have a conversation with somebody in this world, man. It's totally different. All right, and people can't get on that level, so what do? They despise you for it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these people deep down, they want to be us, like they got to saying they hate us because they ain't us. That's true, man. Just like Yahweh Shah, man. They hated Yahweh Shah because they didn't have his power, man. They didn't have his prestige. You see? And we fall in that same lot because we're followers and ambassadors of Mashiach. Yeah. You got some more, Elder?
Yeah, it's the last little bit. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstains from our ways as from filthiness.
Yeah, that's what we do. We abstain from these people, man. Yeah, and we look at you people as counterfeits, as fakes. See, the world is still wooed over Esau, man. We see him for what he is, man. He's a con artist, man. A scumbag.
Yep. He's the devil.
He's the devil. Yeah, he's the devil. Yeah, because people are expecting Esau just to come out and be like, yeah, I do it. Yeah, this is what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm poisoning you. I'm doing this. He can't do that because then he wouldn't be the devil. The whole point is for him to deceive you and then to accuse you, man. If he wasn't doing that, he wouldn't be the devil. You see? But because we have that eyesight, we had a spirit, we can see right through his ass. We see him as the counterfeit that he is, man. Nothing that he does is of substance, man. And nothing that he does is gonna be prolonged, man. Everything that he does is temporary, man. Yeah, he's always telling people what he's doing for him is a good thing, man. Then you wonder why he got cancer.
Yeah. It's the complete opposite, man. Everything he does is to kill you, literally.
Yeah.
You know? But he'll tell you that this is the way that you should live. You should live a death style, man. Set your society up just like me, and you'll live. That's what he tells you. But really, after you do it, you find out what it's really about, man. It's about you being destroyed on all levels, man. Yeah. Spiritually, mentally, physically, you know.
He makes you an enemy of the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because really that's how you get destroyed, because you put yourself in a path of destruction in the eyes of the Most High, man. You know, he sets you up so then the Most High is forced to kill you, man.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You're a homosexual, now you gotta die, man. Are you an adulterer? Are you eating all these abominable foods? Now the Lord, he has to judge you. You see? And that's why Esau sets his society up the way he does, man. That he can deceive you and then accuse you before the Most High. You see? Esau's setting all these people up for failure, man. And because we tell you this, man, you hate us. We become your enemy because we tell you the truth. But it's okay. We're going to continue to tell the truth anyways, man. Whether you hear or whether you forbear, man. Because ultimately, this is about us being saved, man. All right? And us being really saviors for the universe. Hey, because if the Lord didn't set up Yahweh Shah and set us up in the stead of Yahweh Shah in this day and age, man, everything would go to shits, man. No flesh will be saved. All right? So we got a great duty, man. We ain't gonna waver from it. All right? No matter what you people like or think. Go ahead, brother.
Done. Yeah, and that's literal too, man. You know, because this nigga is literally destroying the earth, like the scripture says, man. All right? It says should destroy him that's destroyed the earth. That's exactly what he's doing. He's destroying everything, man. The soil, you can't even really use the soil to plant food anymore, man. You can't grow plants in the soil that's here. The soil is contaminated, man. So then you got to go to him. You got to set up some, GMO plants that's resistant to all the madness that this nigga put in the ground, And those plants, when you eat it, they're gonna put you to death, man.
Bro, that's the spirit. I was talking to the brother because I got plants, and I like to plant the seed, instead of just like buying it. Man, I went to the plant store. They told me I had to go to Amazon, man. What kind of shit is that? I had to go to Amazon for some seeds. Did you know those seeds are all messed up, polluted? Mm-hmm. You see? That just to back up what you said, we were literally just talking about that, man. And that's a sorrow unto you, man. Because we just want to plant, man. You want to listen to some music, plant some seed, do a woman. And Esau want to bomb the moon. And you got to enslave this guy, man.
Yep.
You have to enslave him, man. That's the only solution. You're trying to live a quiet, peaceful life. There's nothing but a bunch of just estrogen-filled niggas out here wanting to kill you. All right, testosterone-filled woman. This is crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
And people love to have it so, man. And it says in Jeremiah. But go ahead, Elder. You got some more?
God, yeah, let's finish it up. It says, we are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that the Most High is his Father.
That's right, man. That's Yahweh Shai, and that's us, man. Yeah, because the end of the just is blessed. Okay, pertaining to Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, you know, you got people who think that our end is without honor. All right, we're just gonna languish. All you niggas just gonna be out there on the streets for 30 years and you're gonna die. No. All right, we're about to inherit everlasting life, man. We're about to inherit the universe. You see? And Esau hates that because he wants to destroy the universe. That's really what it comes down to. It's us and Esau, man. It's the righteous against the wicked. And the righteous are going to prevail, just as always. And the and really righteousness is prevailing, even though wickedness is increasing in the earth. This word is getting out. Camps are popping up everywhere. All right, you got some more, Elder?
That was it.
All right, Khan. You got something?
Yeah, a quick precept.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to Psalm 7 and 14. It says, behold, he travaileth with iniquity and have conceived mischief and brought forth falsehood.
That's Esau, man. He travaileth with iniquity, which I'm gonna look up this word travaileth. Cabal, like to spoil, to corrupt, to offend, to be ruined, to destroy, to ruin, to be ruined, to be broken. So read that again, brother.
Yep, Psalm 7 and 14. Behold, he travaileth with iniquity.
Right, he's broken by his iniquity. All right, he's spoiled with his iniquity. Go ahead.
And have conceived mischief and brought forth falsehood.
Right, that's what Esau does. He conceives mischief. And he does it upon his neck too. And they tell you that they don't sleep unless they've caused somebody to fall.
Yep.
You know what? Our people, they can't imagine that somebody would do that because they don't think that way.
Right.
But you know what, man? The devil does. And then our people, instead of saying, man, you know what, man, I'm not gonna be like that. They say, well, you know what, this is just how the world is. And our people, they adapt to that mind frame, man. And then they actually become worse than the devil, man. Tell you that in Jeremiah the 5th chapter, their deeds overpass the deeds of the wicked.
Yeah, and that's Jake's problem, man. Jake really can't see anything outside of the system the so-called white man has created, man. Jake actually believes like this is he believes Esau's madness, man. Okay, that this is the best system on the earth, you know? So much so that Jake, if he was to take down this country, okay, which we know that's not going to happen, this country's going to be destroyed. But, you know, let's say that we took this country down. This country got taken down, so-called white man got taken out of power. Jake will establish his system based upon what the so-called white man was doing. He's going to have a president in the White House. They're going to have the Congress is still going to be there. The Senate's still going to be there. You know, they still going to have mayors and governors. You know, they still going, everything's still going to be democratic, man. Everybody's still going to be voting, you know.
It'd be like ancient Rome. Diocletian, I believe it was. You had like the 4 tetrarchs. You know, they're all so-called black men, but they continued on in the Roman system. Yeah, I believe Diocletian, that was a central figure. But it was the 4, I believe they called them the 4 tetrarchs. It was 4 so-called black men that took over the Roman Empire. You see, going back to around 200 AD, after Septimius Severus and Priscillius Niger. That's exactly like the elder saying. That's exactly how it would be. Why? Because like my man Bushmaster said, yeah, he took out the other Benjamite guy. What'd he say? You have no vision. Yeah. You lack vision. Yeah, you got to have vision, man. And only the elect have the vision, man. Only the elect can actually see something better. Only the elect are strengthened in the fact that we're actually set up to rule and lead. Hey, because the Lord will actually confirm that, man. A lot of people say that. A lot of people look at us to plead their cause just in the spirit, man. To judge. What do you think? Random people that are supposed to be elites in this society, man, come to the men of the Lord for counsel. Why? Because really in the spirit, we're supposed to be ruling. But you know, Jake doesn't have that mindset because really Jake's not supposed to be ruling until they come back through our loins, man. It's all spiritual. All right, because the niggas, man, the niggas ain't fit today, man. Bro, a nigga on the block on the 1st and the 15th, he's not fit to lead, man. He's not. That's man. No, niggas like that.
Well,
niggas just ride around.
If you let that dude rule,
I'm sorry,
Rocky. If you set that dude up, you gonna have basically what's going on in the hood, man. You know, the whole world's gonna be like that. You know, the law of niggerdom is gonna rule the earth, man.
Yeah.
You know, you step on a nigga's shoes, then you liable to get put to death. And a nigga was set up judges to judge that matter, man. Oh, you stepped on his shoe, you know. You didn't say sorry within 0.5 seconds. You kill him. You know.
No snitching.
Yeah.
Yeah, no snitching. Which really, that's wickedness, man. Hey, because really you're not supposed to go before Esau, all right, for judgment. So on that part, that's good. But then what happens is there's no accountability in the neighborhood. All right, you say, but then what happens to this nigga, man? What happens to all this wicked for all this wickedness, man? There's no judgment, man.
Yep.
And then you have like a older lady, she called the cops, man. And nigga will kill her ass, man. Just because just because her grandson or somebody got. That's what niggas do, man. No accountability, man. So that's how it would be if Jacob's rule. No accountability, just like the elder said, the law of niggerdom would reign supreme, man. You know, so the Lord gotta set up men that he's deemed worthy. Okay. And Esau and the 2/3 are not worthy, man. Straight up. Okay, and there's times we feel like, man, why up? But you know what? Hey, the Lord tosses the ball, man. Like you playing football, the Lord tosses the ball, man. We just spin moving and hurdling, juking until we get to the end zone, man. That's how we taking it, you know. But go ahead, brother. Got some more?
Yeah, a couple more verses. Psalm 7 and 15 now.
Get it.
Says he made a pit and digged it and is falling into the ditch which he made.
That's Esau, man. And you see that now. He's falling into that ditch. He that diggeth a pit shall fall therein. All right. He's falling terribly, horribly. Yeah, this dude, he talking about the society, but why is there so many homeless people? Why are there so many drug addicts? Is that a good but what Esau do is look at everywhere else. Everywhere else is the way it is. He would fucking destroyed it, man. So like, and now that third world condition that you put the world in, guess what? It's coming here, man. So now where are you gonna look to?
Yeah, yep.
You know who you're gonna look to? You're gonna be forced to look at the way the men of the Lord carry themselves, man, and live their lives. Okay, that's how you're supposed to live. Everybody's gonna see that, man. And then everybody's gonna see that because, like we were saying, everybody else is just gonna pass out, man. Everybody else is just gonna faint. And then you're gonna have the men of the Lord just cool. Hey, like remember when that thing with the Simones was going on?
Yeah.
You know, the chick. She was like, hey, everybody's losing their mind, and then she like added me. He's like, he just chilling.
Yep.
There's a Samoan chick too, but that's how it's gonna be. It's gonna be chaos. Everybody's gonna be bugging out. All right, they're gonna getting blown up, and then we just gonna be cool. We'll have a calm presence about us. You have to. I know what you're thinking of, brother. Yeah, but yeah, that's
these people are bugging out already.
Yeah, man, are they? Yeah,
and then the homeless situation that you brought up, Esau doesn't have a solution for that. There's no solution for the homeless epidemic that's going on. There's no solution for all the drug addicts that's out here. He don't know what to do about that, you know. Which when we established our society, Yahweh Shem Shai has already gave us a commandment on how to deal with the poor of the land, man. Esau, he doesn't have any legislation for that, man. He wants to put them in homeless shelters, you know, but there ain't no food for these people, man.
Right.
Which is the reason why we had the law of cleaning in the land of Israel, man, so the poor can eat. You know, this nigga, he ain't doing that.
Yep. Psalm 7 and 16, it says, his mischief shall return upon his own head. His violent dealing shall come down upon his own pay.
Oh, man. And that's ultimately going to be manifested when these missiles are shot over here. Hey, but you know what's happening now? You actually had a so-called missionary went over to a remote island and got smoked. Right? It hit his ass.
Yep.
It hit his ass. Hey, fucked up. But what did missionaries do historically when they go to a land? All right, the missionaries, they pretty much set the stage for Esau to come in there and conquer them. All right, Esau go in there with his wicked ass doctrine, make them all feeble,
Yep,
soften them up. Yep. All right, and then the damn cavalry come in and slaughter their ass, man.
Mm-hmm.
Damn devil, I don't feel no type of way about that dude getting smoked, man. Hey, Barakatah Yahweh shot for that beautiful judgment, man.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Finish it off.
Okay.
Well, I'll read it. Verse 17. I will praise the Lord Yahweh according to his righteousness, and will sing praise to the name of the Lord Yahweh, the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, man. Hey, that's it, man. At what? At the fall of the wicked. All right, at the fall of the violent. You see, so there's nothing wrong with that. Scriptures say that, matter of fact, let me just grab it real quick. Ecclesiasticus chapter 25, verse 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue, a man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's why David was praising Yahweh Bashim Shah, man. All right, because of the fall of his enemy. All right, which really David was a prophet, and he was foreseeing the fall of the so-called white man. It's right. Acts the 3rd chapter that David's a prophet, because people will read and they'll be like, okay, that was just talking about what David was going through. Which some things were, and other things he was speaking in the spirit. All right, about this time, all right, the time of his son. You see? Hey, but can you go back to Habakkuk the 2nd chapter? Can we go ahead and get that? And then go back to Revelation 13, describing this man's system, which is falling before your wicked ass eyes, man.
Mm-hmm.
Back in Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5, it says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home.
Oh, man, and that man Trump he's a epitome, he's a poster child for Esau. That dude was, they was asking who should be blamed for the murder of that journalist. He said the world. Hey, man, that dude's something else, man. That dude's something else.
Esau, man.
Yeah, he's something else, man. He always trying to pass the buck, man. He play hot potato when it comes to judgment.
Yep.
All right, as soon as somebody's like, no, it's easy, he passing that off, man.
Esau childish ass.
Yeah, that's why it says, and children rule over them. All right, because that's the trait of a child, all right, a lack of responsibility. Which, hey, man, I'm gonna say this in the spirit, man. A lot of brothers in the truth got that same spirit, man. That childish spirit. Paul said, when I was a child, I thought like a child. When I became a man, I put away childish things. And those are traits of child, not taking responsibility, passing the buck. You do things, man. You got to take responsibility. Otherwise, you in the spirit of Esau, man. Just a grown kid, right? Living off your parents, blaming everything on somebody else, man. But go ahead, brother.
This who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death.
Yeah, the harbinger of death, man. Hey, and all these scientists, ecologists, geologists, every issue you could think of, agree that all forms of life are in a rapid decline. Why? Because the so-called white man, he's as death. He destroys everything. Mm-hmm. And there's certain times, brothers will send stuff out, and I'm like, man, I can't even look at that right now. That's how bad it gets. Because you're like, man, I thought I was on a healthy tip. I just found out I can't eat lettuce no more. Yeah, and lettuce threw me up. Like, damn, what can I eat? Everywhere you go, man, you really trying to live a righteous life, man, and this man has destroyed everything.
Yep.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, he did that on purpose, man, with the lettuce.
Yep.
Because how the hell E. coli get on lettuce, man? That nigga put that on there so you can't eat it, but then, he'll come with his GMO lettuce and say, well, look, see, this lettuce is resistant to E. coli. I can never get E. coli. You can eat this, That's Esau. That's a so-called white man,
And it goes on to say, it cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
Yeah, the New World Order. Okay, and he wants you to be gathered so that you can worship him. It ain't because I want everybody to come together, to worship the Most High and be righteous. No, he wants you to worship his red, dusty, demonic ass. Yep. All right,
and follow his ways.
Yeah, follow his ways and roll in his spirit. And then guess what? If you don't roll in his spirit, you just gonna release some cyanide in that chip and kill you.
Yep.
That's the future. Well, really, the future is here, man. That I say that's the future, but as it's saying, the future is here, which is true, man. We're in the midst of the New World Order. Go ahead. Next verse.
Verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him?
Yeah, and that's what's happening around the world. Death to America, Yankee go home, Red Dragon, Red Satan, go ahead.
And a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his.
Yeah, woe unto him that increases that which is not his. Yeah, because you stole everything. Nothing is, everything that you got, you acquired it by ill-gotten means. Go ahead. Oh, and Esau say, hey, the means justify the end. That's the same as all white men. You see? No remorse. The scripture tell you in Zechariah 11 chapter, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, man. Let's talk about this man. And then he sets up a society to make it be like, well, you know what, everybody's doing it. You know?
Yeah.
You recycle too. And you know, those things will mess with your mind because you really try to do good, but you can't here, man. You can't. You really genuinely can't. An example of that was the lettuce, man. All right, you really want to deal with a virgin, you can't. Women out here are whores, man. You see? And Esau designates it like that, so then you won't what? You won't speak against them. Oh, well, you know what? Well, I'm a part of this too. No, man. We're not a part of this system. All right. Even using the world, a lot brothers don't even want to use this world, but you know you have to, all right, because we live here, you gotta sustain. That's what Esau's all about, man, bringing you into condemnation. His whole spirit is, hey, I'm going to hell, I'm bringing everybody with me. All right, but guess what? All these countries, man, they're breaking apart from your ass, and they got that taunting proverb against your ass. It's not just.
And they finally trying to set their own thing up now. You know, they're moving off of your monetary system.
Yep. They're trying to
do their own thing.
Better system, like which Esau is saying there ain't no better system.
They're
trying to establish one, man. And that's Esau. I mean, he's all about monopolizing everything. He's like, look, you can't point to a better system because I'm the only system.
Right.
He's the devil, man. He's the damn devil. Go ahead, brother.
Because woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay.
Oh, with thick clay. You look up that word clay in the Hebrew, it's ibat, which means what? Debt. And a lot more people just got into debt today. All right, trying to buy presents for their little demonic children. All right, trying to look good. I need some new clothes for this work interview. You know, it's gonna be. Hey, you people are slaves, man. You people need slavery, straight up, man. Maybe because that all factors into America's debt. You see? Go ahead, Daddy.
Yep, verse 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee? In the wake, in a wake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them.
That's right, man. America's gonna be spoiled, man. All right, America's gonna be destroyed. It's gonna be destitute. Out of nowhere, too, seemingly out of nowhere. Scripture say I saw Satan falling as lightning. This opioid epidemic and this poverty that just hit you devils out of nowhere, man. Yep. All right, the whole world just popped up against you out of nowhere. Because when we first went out, that anti-American sentiment, it wasn't as heavy as it is now, man.
Yep.
We've been going out about 10 years now, man. It wasn't like that, man. But now, man, it is. Now it is. You can make a friend just off of the hatred of America. Yeah, it's bullshit, man. It's damn country. I served in the Gulf War. Yeah, nigga got his leg half blown off. You make a friend. All right, yeah. I was supposed to go to Walter Reed. It was the worst hospital I've ever been to. Yeah, what about that? You talking about how great the system is. How about the people who enforce American supremacy? They come back and they catch more hell than regular ass American. You see? You won't find that present in these other systems. Like you go to Japan, man, that's like a high regarded caste, man, to be like a warrior, samurai. You see, but here, man, the warriors, they get shitted on, man. You see, that's a part of Esau's system, which he thinks is so great. Got all these people on welfare, food stamps, or they live under a subsistence wage. Yeah, if America's so great, why is America the biggest consumer of drugs? You take drugs because you're not doing too well, right? You need an alteration. But this is the best system. The only way the system works is these people being doped up. Oh, like my man J. Cole, he got that kids on drugs.
Yeah.
Right? That's all it is, man. A bunch of drug addicts, man. But this is a great system. Get the hell up out of here, man. That's a joke. You're a counterfeit. Hey, like I said, man. Yeah, come on, brother.
This is Sirach 26 and 28. There be two things that grieve my heart, and the third maketh me angry. A man of war that suffereth poverty,
yep,
and men of understanding that are not set by.
Right. Finish it off. Hey, brother, can you finish it off?
Okay. It says, and one that returneth from righteousness to sin, the Lord prepareth such as one for the sword.
Woo. Hey, yeah, so it said what? The third maketh me angry, a man of war that suffereth poverty. Hey, the majority of these homeless people, they're veterans, man. Oh, yeah, they served in the Gulf War. They served in Afghanistan. Oh, I did 3 rounds in Afghanistan. I was in Afghanistan first. Then I went to Iraq in 2003. Then I went back to Afghanistan. Now the niggas on the oids. All right, they're sleeping under a bridge. Hey, man, the Lord is not with that, man. Hey, so you can say how great your system is, but what's really going to determine if it sustains or not is the Most High pleased with your system?
God.
The answer is no, man. Yeah, because we're bringing out these scriptures, and your whole system is contrary to the ways of Yahweh Shai, which means what? It's not going to endure forever. Because if you don't abide by the word, you're not going to abide forever. As simple as that, man. That's the only way that you're going to abide, man, that your system is going to go on. If it's in coordination, not coordination, if it's in agreement with the ways of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, man. If it's in subjection to Yahweh and Yahweh Shai's ways. This society is totally contrary. So that's why it's falling the way it is, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a bunch of horrible music. You know, like upstairs, my neighbor, a so-called white woman, she's slapping a bunch of horrible Jake music, you know? Yeah.
And the system is so bad that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to completely destroy it from off the face of the earth, man.
Yep.
He's the only time he did that was Sodom and Gomorrah and the other 3 cities, man.
Yep.
Okay. But the Most High, he's going to completely wipe this place from off the face of the earth because of the system that is set up, man.
Yep.
Okay. So that shows you how good Esau's system is, man.
Mm-hmm. You got something?
Back in Habakkuk?
That was it. Okay, that was it. You go back to Revelation.
13?
Yeah. Revelation.
We're at now 13 then.
Go to 4.
Yes, the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 4. It says, and they worship the dragon, which gave power unto the beast.
Right, and that's what the world does. They worship the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Up until this point now where they're doing what? They're taking up that parable. You see, because we're pretty much like in a transition out of this to this place actually being destroyed. See, that's what's so beautiful. We've actually been living. We're living in the demise of the so-called white man. All right, because nobody's worshiping the dragon anymore, but they were for the longest. All right, go ahead.
Yep.
It says, and they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him?
Yeah, who was able to make war with the beast? With NATO.
Yep.
You can't, man. Why? Because their military might was too strong for a while.
God.
But now everybody got the equalizer, which is the nuclear missiles. Right? That's pertaining to the 3rd chapter. And Isaiah the 14th chapter. Art thou become as weak as us? Art thou become like unto us? How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Which Lucifer, man, ain't no rogue ass angel, man. Like he gave the Lord a stone cold stunner and took some angels with him. They went renegade, backed off. No, man. Lucifer is talking about the so-called white man. All right, the light bearer. Do they not call themselves the Illuminati? All right, they had the whole world just wandering after them for a while, man. But now these nations have drunken that wine is wearing off, and they're looking at them for what they are, man. Now, how the prophet is looking at you as a damn counterfeit. Go ahead, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 5 says, and there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemy.
And what does that sound like? That sounds like the book of Daniel. That's talking about who? The so-called white man. It's talking about Antiochus Epiphanes, who was what? A so-called white man. Okay. And tell you in Daniel the 7th chapter too about matter of fact, can you get it real quick? Daniel the 7th chapter. It says, and there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things of blasphemy. These scriptures are supposed to be read how? Precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. Yeah, Daniel 7 and 20. Okay.
The book of Daniel.
You know what? Start at 19.
Yeah, the book of Daniel, chapter 7, I'm going to start at verse 19. It says, Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all the others.
We're reading about that beast in the book of Revelation, the Roman Empire. And how are they different from us? Because all these other empires, they set up kings. All right, but the Romans, they had a Senate house. Matter of fact, hold that and go to First Maccabees, the 8th chapter. We'll pull that up. Yeah, this is exciting stuff right here, man. This is the highest knowledge you could get. Everybody talking about that nigga Tekashi 6ix9ine and Christmas and who gonna win the Super Bowl. Guess what? The Lord gonna win the Super Bowl, right? He might destroy it, man. He might shoot laser. Who knows, man? All right, the rate that this society is at, man.
You seen the Angels at the game yesterday?
Yeah. That's what I said, man. Lord gonna win the Super Bowl. Yeah. Lord can just send the angel down there, man. Shut everything. I'm the winner. You know.
Shut it down.
Yeah, the angel can take a trophy and just shatter it by looking at it, man. Have it disintegrate, man. First Maccabees 8. Read the first verse and then jump to 14.
Yeah, First Maccabees 8 and 1. It says, Now Judas had heard of the fame of the Romans, that they were mighty and valiant men, such as would lovingly accept all that joined themselves unto them, and make a league of enmity with all that came unto them.
Right, and you go into the Roman Empire. That's what they did. They had a term called divide and rule. Okay, they would pretty much make a treaty with the people that they conquered. All right, they would give them some form of autonomy, but then whenever there was a war in the Roman Empire, they would have to go and join themselves into the Roman Empire. All right, they would have to fight against their enemies. That's when you go into the history. That's how Rome got down. Yeah, like I said, divide and rule. That's a term. Esau still uses that unto this day. All right, verse 14.
Jumping down to verse 14 now, it says, Yet for all this, none of them wore a crown or was clothed in purple to be magnified thereby.
There you go. That's how they were different than the other beasts. Go ahead.
Moreover, how they had made for themselves a Senate house.
Is there not a Senate house now? You dumbass niggas, a couple weeks ago, you was voting about who will go into the Senate and the House of Representatives. You're nothing but a black Roman, man. A black Greek. Go ahead.
It says, moreover, how they had made for themselves a Senate house wherein 320 men sat in council daily, consulting always for the people to the end they might be well ordered.
That's the House of Representatives in the Senate. That's Congress. Go ahead.
Verse 16 says, and that they committed their government to one man every year.
That's the president. Okay. Now it's every 4 years. Go ahead.
Who ruled over all their country.
Right. You have one president. You don't have multiple presidents. You have a president. You got a vice president. Go ahead.
Yep.
And that all were obedient to that one, and that there was neither envy nor emulation amongst them.
Yeah, he's the commander. What they call him, the commander in chief. So ultimately, he's the president. And you got some people that are like, hey, well, you know what? I don't agree with him, but that is the president. So we gotta abide by him. All right, but go back to Daniel.
Yeah, back in Daniel 7 and 19. It says, then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all the others.
Right, and that's how it was diverse, because these other beasts, all right, their kings, they ruled, and that was it. They would have counselors and whatnot, yet it all came down to them. All right, go ahead.
Exceeding dreadful.
Right, exceeding dreadful, man. Hey, because this man will bring dread over your ass. All right, the so-called white man. That's why these countries for a while, man, they would just submit. All right, because he's brought forth his wrath to the whole earth. Go ahead.
whose teeth were of iron, and his nails of brass, which devoured, break in pieces, and stumped the residue with his feet.
Right, with his feet. Right, this time, man. All right, these are the toes, man. All right, this revitalized Roman Empire. Go ahead.
Verse 20. And of the 10 horns that were in his head.
Right, and of the 10 horns that were in his head, which this started in the ancient Roman Empire, and no coincidence, man. All these countries that were present with the Roman Empire back then, they're a part of NATO. All right, Britannia, Gaul, which that's modern day France, Hispania, all right, which that's Spain and Portugal. Yep. These countries are all a part of it. Then you have Germania Major, Germania Minor. Okay, Germany and those you got Luxembourg, that whole area. Okay, they're a part of the modern day Roman Empire. You can't get around that, man.
Yeah, he's reincarnated.
What else is this talking about? All right, it's the same exact countries. And guess what? Russia's not included. Just like Russia wasn't included back then. See, Russia was always its own thing. And that's all spiritual. But go ahead, brother.
It says, of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up.
The other which came up is talking about who? America.
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead, brother.
And before whom 3 fell.
And before whom 3 fell. Who's those 3 that fell? The Spanish, the French, and the British.
Yep.
Okay, because really the Spanish were the primary nation. The Spanish and the Portugal, really Hispania. Or those are the primary, that was the primary nation, I should say, because when you go anciently, that was all one. Spain and Portugal was all together. So that was the primary nation or the primary clique or country of Esau that took over for 200 years. Or you go back to 1492 up until like the 1600s. And then the British got involved. And the French, those are the primary nations. You did have Dutch colonies and pretty much the Dutch, Germany a little bit, but it was mainly who? It was the Spanish, the French, and the British. Those are the 3 world powers.
God.
And what happened? You had the Spanish-American War, you had the French-Indian War.
Yep.
You had the Revolutionary War and the War of 1812, in which America was victorious. And even now, all those nations are subject to America. All right, go ahead.
Even of that horn.
Yeah, those are the Slovakia. Those are the 3 main languages that's spoken on this side of the world: Spanish, English, and French.
Right. That's right. That's right. Yep. Because you go to you go to Latin America, they mostly speak Spanish and English. Okay, you go into Caribbean, the so-called Caribbean. You got a lot of French-speaking Israelites like Haiti, Guadeloupe. Oh, you go up to Canada, Montreal, they speak in French.
Yep.
So they call themselves French Canadians. And then here in America, and really everywhere, man, everywhere in the Americas, they're speaking English. You see? And Portuguese, and then you could say Portuguese for Brazil, but Portuguese is just a blend of Spanish and French. You see?
Okay.
Go ahead, brother.
It says, even of that horn that had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things.
Just like it said in Revelation, that spake very great things and blasphemies. Okay, go ahead.
Whose look was more stout than his fellows.
Whose look was more stout than his fellows. That's who? America. Okay. So going back to the book of Revelation, 13th chapter. Read that again, the 5th verse.
All right. Revelation 13:5. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies.
Right.
And power was given unto him to continue 42 months.
Go ahead.
And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against the Most High.
That's what Esau does, man. All right, blasphemes. Go ahead.
To blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwelt in heaven.
Right. He speaks against the heavens, speaks against the Israelites. That's all he does is reproach us. All right, because we're the tabernacle of the Most High. All right, we're the Most High's building. I'll tell you that in 1 Corinthians, the 3rd chapter.
God.
All right, so
Zion.
Right, we're Zion. Hey, which is spiritual, the top basketball player in college now, his name's Zion, man. Yep. Crazy young Jake, man. Like 6'6", 280, jumping out the gym, man. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 7, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints.
Right, and that's what he's done. He's made war with the saints, because you go to any historian, they'll tell you that the biggest, those that took the brunt of the so-called white man's oppression and violence was so-called indigenous people and so-called black people, man, who are Israelites. That's undeniable.
Thanks.
Those are the saints. The saints are Israelites. All right, the saints ain't Mother Teresa. All right, or some drug dealing nigga who passed out turkeys. All right, he ain't he's an Israelite. He is a saint, but really the saints in particular are the men of the Lord right now. You see?
Sure.
And that's really who this war is against, man. It's the men of the Lord. You get what I'm saying? Go ahead, brother.
And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations.
And that's what he did. He overcame the men of the Lord for a period of time in all of Israel. Because ultimately all Israel are saints. It's just at this particular time, they ain't acting like saints. Really, they're heathens. But yeah, he overcame our people as a whole, man. Go ahead.
Verse 8, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody worships the so-called white man, except for who? The men of the Lord. You see that, man. Yep. Except for the saints. All right, except for the saints. Everybody worships the beast. Everybody worships the so-called white man in his system, except for us. And like the elder was going into, man, you got niggas who would just continue on with this system and put like a little nigga twist on it. Why? Because they ultimately still worship. That's why Jake asked for equality. Because they actually think that the system is superior to anything that they could come up with. They just want a bigger piece of the pie. They want to be integrated into this society, into this system. That was pretty much it. Actually, you know what? Keep reading down. Read down to like 14.
Okay. Read down through 9.
9, yeah.
Okay. Verse 9 says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Yeah, you see it, and you see that just came out of nowhere. That's how the scriptures are. All right, it's just talking about the beast, and then right in the middle of it, it talks about what? The judgment of the beast. Right. All right, slavery and extermination. Really. Yep. Right, you going into slavery, and then you getting slain by the sword. Everything that you did to our people. And it's just talking about who? It's written here because it's talking about the beast. This is the judgment of the beast. Because people say, well, look, didn't black people put black people in slavery? What about this? Didn't Chinese? This is talking about Esau, man. All right. Go ahead. Yeah.
Verse 11, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
Right. That's talking about those 2 political parties. Go ahead.
And he exercised
Republicans and Democrats. That's what that's symbolic of. Go ahead.
He exercised all the power of the first beast before him.
The first beast before him, the Roman Empire. All right, because this is the vitalized Roman Empire. Go ahead.
It causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed.
That's why when you're young, you learn about the Roman Empire. All right, you learn Roman numerals. You learn about all these Caesars. Okay, the architecture is the same because you're brought up to worship the Roman Empire. All right, which this is the revitalized Roman Empire. This is the beast that came up that had his deadly wound healed. Go ahead.
Verse 13, and he doeth great wonders so that he maketh fire. So it's like, and he doeth great wonders so that he maketh fire come down from heaven and on the earth. So it says that he doeth great wonders so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men.
Yeah, which is why people submit to his ass, dropping bombs, making the world as a wilderness. That's why people have worshipped him and submitted to his system. Because Esau didn't beat these people down with his military might, man. Well, keep going.
Verse 14, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the womb by a sword and did live.
Right. Which is talking about what? You replicate my system, man.
Right.
You replicate my system. That's why you go over to China, you go over to Japan. 150 years ago, their society didn't look that way, but they remodeled it after who? After the so-called white man. All right. They worship the beast, and they recreate the image of the beast.
Yeah, and all these nations, they have constitutions. And I was just watching a documentary earlier about, these different nations gaining independence. But what they had to do to gain that independence, first of all, they had to get approval from the so-called white man, and then they had to show him that they were going to make a system that was based upon his system. They had to get a constitution. They had to set up, like a parliament or something to have that democratic system going on. Now, if they would have came to him and said, look, we're going to set up a system, but we ain't dealing with what you're dealing with, he wouldn't have let them go, man. He wouldn't have gave them their independence.
Right.
You want me to read the 15th verse?
Now that was pretty much you. That's going into the mark of the beast, which we know that's what you call the NFC chip or the RFID chip. All right. Point me. You got something, Elder?
God, this is Revelation 20:7. It says, and when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison.
Right.
And shall go out to the
right. And that's what we're experiencing right now. We're at the end of that 1,000 years. That 1,000-year period started really 325 AD. That's the central time. But really, Esau was going down before that. But that's when the Holy Roman Empire was established, Constantine being a key figure. So from about the early to mid 4th century to the mid 14th century, that's that 1,000-year period. All right, because when you go into the 1400s, that's when Esau really started making his inroads, man, back into power. He started getting into the military, and then we had the fall of Constantinople. That was a key date. And then, of course, 1453, and then you have 1492. All right, when Cristobal Colon sailed over to this side of the world. So for roughly 1,000 years, the so-called white man, he was in captivity, but then he was loosed out of prison, and this is the time that he's loose. All right. Go ahead, brother.
It says, and when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the 4 quarters of the earth.
The whole world. See, the whole world. See, the Roman Empire, the ancient Roman Empire, they didn't have the opportunity to do that. All right, they didn't come over to this side of the world. Okay, Satan had to be loose and then conquer the whole world. See? Because you had the Roman Empire, they were conquering the known world, or much of the known world. You had the Persians, they had 127 provinces, which a province is a state. But nobody did it like Esau in this day and age. You see? And they said, what? He deceived them. That's all he's been doing. All he's been doing is tricking people.
Can you look up that word, deceived, Baba Kasha?
Yep. Yep, and that word deceive, it's planeo, it looks like. And it says, oh man, to cause to stray, to lead astray, to lead aside from the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. To lead away from the truth, to lead to error, to deceive.
That's exactly what he did, man. And what's the right way? The right way is the system that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah established.
Right.
Okay. But he went out through the 4 quarters of the earth to lead all these nations astray from that, man.
Right.
Okay. To feed them his philosophies and his way of life, and have them follow that, man. Okay, which in turn was going to make these nations mad at a certain point, because they're going to come to the realization, we living in that time right now. Right. They coming to the realization that his system doesn't work, man. His system is not the proper way to live. You destroy yourself and your land and your people following after his system, man.
Right. That's right. Here's one. To be led aside from the path of virtue, to go astray, sin.
Yeah, the man of sin shall be revealed.
Oh man,
you know.
Good. I got one more. To be led away into error and sin.
Mm-hmm. That's a so-called white man, and you can't establish a society off of sin. Okay. Not only is it's wrong in the sight of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, but you see the result of it, man. You see what's going on in society. The
Sin.
animals are dying. You can't live your life like that, man. You can't survive living your life like that, man. It's impossible. Okay. Not only is Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai going to destroy you, but you can't live like that. Everything is going to end up being polluted. All right. The earth is not going to be able to survive on a system that's based off of wickedness and iniquity, man.
Yeah, the wages of sin are death. That's what the scriptures say. So, yeah, if you sin, that means what? You're gonna die.
Yep.
And that's what Esau set up to do, man, to lead you into death.
Yep.
Lead you into hell, really.
Yeah, you don't have to. It's like you.
Now you got it, brother.
Yeah. One of the examples, you don't have to keep the land Sabbath. Which, if you don't keep that, the land is going to be completely depleted of nutrients, man. Then what's literally going to happen to you? You're going to die because you can't eat. The cattle can't eat. The plants ain't going to be able to grow, and you're going to die. Which you can see why the Most High puts people to death that break His laws, man. Right. You're gonna mess it up for everybody.
Right.
That one sinner. Just because you want to be wicked, you don't want to follow the ways of the Heavenly Father, so you want everybody else to suffer with you, man. Which is the reason why this man has to go.
That's Esau's spirit, man. I'm going to hell. I'm bringing everybody with me.
Mm-hmm.
You got any more, Elder?
Khan, it says, and he shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea.
Gog and Magog is talking about who? The Russians.
Yep.
The number of whom is as the sand of the sea. Hey, because that's who he's about to go to war with, man. All right, this devil over here, his ultimate destruction. Ultimately it's coming from Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, but the Lord is using the Russians, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, He's going to use the Russians, other Edomites, to destroy this place.
Yep.
You got some more?
Verse 9. And they went up on the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about in the beloved city, and fire came down from the Most High out of heaven and devoured them.
Yeah, you're going to try to come against us, and what's going to happen? The Lord's going to devour you with fire. Okay, because that's what this order is about, taking out Israel. We're the beloved city. Oh, because when you go into it, the next chapter it says what? New Jerusalem's going to come down from heaven. All right, after all of this. All right, after this new destruction. All right, the elect are going to be delivered and then come down and subdue the earth with righteousness. Go ahead.
And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever.
Yeah, for a time, right? For a long time, forever. Yeah, where the beast and the false prophet being the Catholic Church, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. Yeah, so this whole system is going to be destroyed, man. All right, the lake of fire.
That's right.
Because this landmass is surrounded by water, man. So when John looked down, it looked like a lake of fire, man. Just fire surrounded by all the water, man. Fire just surrounded by all of this water. Got the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, and then right in the middle, America on fire. You got any more, Elder?
That was it.
Okay, Where you got anything? I'm point made. Closing thoughts. Got something in your heart, brother? Let it out. Yeah. All right. So with that, we're gonna wrap up. We're gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Rakah. All right, hey man, this place is done. We say America's going down. America's already down. All right, now it's just getting kicked down. You said something, Elder?
Nah.
All right. Well, yeah. Hopefully it was edifying, and hey, may the spirit continue to flow. May more angels make appearances, and more depth and instruction come upon this place, and may the elect be strengthened. All right, in faith. All right. Shalom to the elect.
Shalom.
Shalom.